kids who really thought about life and what it was going to be like in 20 years. Well, crazy enough, I've always had an idea of what I wanted my life to play out like. I jumped back and forth from wanting to be a vet to a dental hygienist, and now finally making my decision of wanting to be a labor and delivery nurse. School has always been a struggle for me, so avoiding school was like what I wanted to do. But finding a school that works best for me in my future, I'm finally able to say I got 2 years of college out of the way, and by the time I'm going to be graduating high school. So my goal in avoiding school was accomplished. Throughout the time of going through school, I set goals to myself, and I will accomplish it by the time I'm 38 years old. How many see themselves wanting to live in a huge mansion and be a millionaire? Well, realistically, it might not happen, and even though I fantasize about it all the time. In 20 years from now, I see myself retiring or getting close to retirement from being a nurse. I also want to be living on a farm on a lot of land, have my own family already created with 1 to 2 kids, and living a happy life with my husband. Let me tell you, living on a farm has always been my dream. When I say I make goals to myself, and when I say I make goals to myself and then they get accomplished over time, I mean it. It is my main focus, and when I do so, I can proudly say they have finally been finished, and it means a lot to me. When I mentioned I wanted to live on a farm, when I wanted to live on some farmland, you think it was just for the fun of it, because who would want to keep up with all that land? Well, there's reasons behind all that. I'm a huge health freak, and I believe that many of our sicknesses, diseases, and yucky feeling bodies, weight loss and weight gains, and so on, comes from the food we put into our bodies. So the crazy health freak lady that does all the research to find out many ways of living a healthy life. Well, anyways, growing my own fruits, vegetables, eggs, meat, spices has always been a focus for me. Also, my motivation to learning new and different ways of living a better lifestyle, and bettering myself on the daily is something I love to do. For example, I normally sit in my room and I make goals to myself in my free time because I find that that's a way of bettering myself and coming out of my comfort zone. Even though sometimes it can be challenging to remember all the information I put into my brain on healthy lifestyles, informing people on certain things makes me always feel proud of what I know and did research on. Throughout my high school career, I suffered from many different challenges, such as being called fat, big head, white girl, and so on. I never really understood why. When I started to understand that in schools there are so many ethnicities, cultures, and backgrounds, people started to categorize you into certain groups. Sitting in class, I was always being asked, how do you pronounce your last name? Over and over again. And let me tell you, it was annoying. But I had to understand that we all come from different backgrounds, ethnicities, and cultures. It was normal. I am Polish, so I'm as white as you can get. Let me tell you, Polish people are crazy. I think it is really interesting to find out more about myself and where I come from doing research and DNA testing, and it was a fun chore. I also think it is very important to know your background because you can always inform your family and friends, children, and also people who just ask you what type of person you are. Having someone to look up to nowadays is pretty interesting. Most kids and teens are admiring famous actors, social media influencers, YouTube stars, and questioning myself on why that is. Well, what I find really important is making sure that one person has so much more good in their life than they have bad. And making sure that my dad has never once let me down. In a way, I felt like I had no one. His mindset and focus keeps me on my feet and makes me realize there is more than life than just the little hiccups you have. He has always gone through a lot in life, and I ask myself, how is he even still smiling? It gives me so much more gratitude and gratefulness. For example, when I was about 8 years old, me and my dad we always shared this special father-daughter bond that was literally unbreakable. I got the news that I had to move to Arizona, which caused our relationship at the time when I was 8 years old to fall apart, as you can imagine. Throughout the time, my dad never once gave up and continued to make sure our relationship was always hanging on. While going through that, today our relationship has become stronger than ever because it has shown me that his love for me wasn't going to stop. Ever since then, it changed me in a way that when I feel like I'm going through something very challenging, I always remind myself that I can push through it and understand why things are happening and that there will be light at the end of the tunnel.
Oh, no. Easy, you are.